Hello, everybody. It's Russ Curtis, licensed clinical mental health counselor. Thanks for joining me today. I know I talk about a lot of things related to narcissism and infidelity, but as well as other. I've got videos out on how to do different theories and so forth. But I wanted to talk about forgiveness and health. This is one of my favorite studies, but before I begin, please know that forgiveness is not reconciliation. Okay? Forgiveness is actually the person who's been injured or traumatized in some way releasing the anger by essentially saying, well, and it doesn't have to be said personally. There doesn't need to be an email or text sent or anything. It could even just be thought or something that's written down and burned as a ritual, is saying, hey, I'm no longer going to let you cause me to feel anger and hurt and trauma. Okay, so people get this mixed up. Forgiveness is not reconciliation. And if somebody has done you harm, whether it's physical harm or narcissistic abuse, I would recommend not hanging around them if at all possible. Okay, but forgiveness is your desire to begin letting go of the anger. Now, it will always come back around. Okay, so this isn't like, oh wow, I guess I haven't forgiven because now I'm angry again, or now I'm anxious because of this happened. No, it's a process. And you are beginning the process when you forgive by saying, I am no longer going to allow you to make me angry or hurt or fearful or whatever. Now, a very cool, and I've given you the study here, Zheng et al., 2015. Please be careful on the stuff you're seeing on YouTube and make sure that there's some research backing it up when you talk about it with friends. So you can access this article, just Zheng et al. And forgiveness. You should be able to find it. But this is a line of research that I'm really excited about called embodied perception cognitions, or embodied cognition perception. Ultimately, it's a fancy term saying our thoughts and beliefs about ourselves actually affect our physicality, our health, perhaps even at a cellular level. And I'll do some stuff on mindfulness and how that affects us as well. But let me just tell you briefly and generally about this study. You'd have to go to the article for all the details. But these researchers did this brilliant research asking college students, probably college students who were in a intro psych class and didn't want to have to write a paper, participate in this study, right? So the college students were to think about a time they were offended, and then a time they were offended, but also then forgave the offender. Okay, that's all they were to do, is just to write down a time that they were offended by somebody, but then forgave the person. Okay, so they weren't actually going to the person and telling them that they were forgiving them or anything like that. And prior to doing that, they were doing a jumping test to see how high they could jump. Okay, so they do the jumping test, then they probably sat down in a classroom, they thought about a time they were offended and forgave, and then they were asked to jump again. And what they found is after they wrote about forgiveness, they jumped higher. Okay, and what this is related to with this embodied cognitive perception is that when we've been offended, it creates a heaviness, within ourselves. And that when we forgive, it actually lightens us up, if you will. And so that is what this study was about. Again, I thought just really brilliant. That when we actually intentionally decide to let go of the hurt and anger, it can create some physiological effects. Maybe it's just temporary, but we also have research suggesting that forgiveness is good for our health. It's good for our heart. It's good for anxiety, good for sleep. So more about this to come, but I did just want to share this with you. I thought it was a great study. Let me know if this is helpful, and we will talk to you soon.